Hello, fishy folks. Happy Friday. Hope everyone had a great week. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm sort of going to film what I do in my fish room, go into the local fish store, possibly breeding for profit. So stay tuned. Okay, fishy folks. Here I am at the entrance to my fish room. And I want to show you what I do when I first come down in the morning. I gotta turn the camera on though, so hold on. You can't really see, but it's a big moving blanket hanging. So here's what we do. Here's what I see. I walk in, and the first thing I do is look at this thermometer to see what the temperature is in the tanks. Almost, because I heat the room, almost all the tanks are this temperature. Obviously the tanks on the top row are gonna be a little warmer, and the tanks on the bottom row maybe a little colder, but not really too much. So, what do I do? Well, the first thing I do is turn on the light. I walk over here. There's this little wire that I have to the pull cord. Boom, sorry about that. Lights. Then I come over here and I turn this light on. Boom, lights. Then, yep, the first thing I do is I look for eggs. We check all the slates to see if there are any eggs. Come on, platinums. These guys and these guys. Then I usually check fry. Make sure these guys are okay and these guys are okay. And I start looking around. It's real important to check all your fish, especially if you have a lot of fish in one tank. You might not notice that one's dead, and that could cause an ammonia spike. So I started to check all the tanks. You don't need to see me check all the tanks. That's probably boring, but you know, I just walk by and you know, take a look. I might look at tanks that I know spawn for me, like this tank. I came down a couple days ago and I noticed there was a ton more fry. The first batch she dropped when I first got them was like 3 fry. The second batch was 5, but now you can see the little tiny guy in the weeds over there. There's probably 10, if not more, of the little guys. So that's what I do as far as checking tanks. That looks like a dead fish, but it's not. See, just sleeping. Then the next thing I do is I come and I look at my water storage tank, check the level. Usually when I get down here, you can see what time it is now. Here's my timer. So it's 6:25. The next time the timer's going to go on is 3:44 in the morning. But I usually get down here before 6, and most of the water changes happen between 5 and 6. The fry tanks go on at 3:44. I don't know why I picked that time, but anyway, I can tell if everything worked right by how much water is left in the tub. This is about how much water is left in the tub after the fry tanks. And Zone 2, this is Zone 2. So you got these tanks, you got these tanks, and you got that 55. Zone 1 is a little bigger, so there's a little bit less water, but this is about right. I also usually come and check the temperature of my storage water, 83 degrees. It loses some temperature as it goes through the pipes, probably gets to the tanks around 81, 82, but you know, I heat the room, not the tanks, although I do have a couple heaters. I have a heater in this tank to help promote spawning, although I may shut it off, we'll see. I have a heater in my ram tank over here because rams like it warmer, and then I have, of course, a heater in this ram tank. Now, I have to warn you, I am off today, so I am still in my jams. So when you see me feeding fish, you're gonna go, what the hell are you wearing? And you'll see. It's just jams, don't worry about it. It's not my footy jams, it's not that cold, but yeah. Alright guys, so workbench is a mess as usual. I did leave this step out. One of the things I do when I first come down is I put water in my frozen food. That's how I like to feed it. I take the frozen food in these little Chinese food soup containers, and I don't really know what they're called, but that's how I get them. and I put water from my storage tub. I used to take water from one of the tanks, and then someone commented on how I've really tried to clean up the tanks and separate them so that if one tank gets sick, they all don't get sick. And she said, you're doing the same thing. You're pulling water from one tank and putting it in all the other tanks. And I'm like, that's a damn good idea. And I wish I remembered her name. And I apologize. If you're watching this and you're going, it's me, I'm sorry. Let me know and I will mention your name. I will add an annotation with your name in it or a card with your channel name. Please, forgive me. Anywho, that's what we do. After we check the tanks, we feed. And that's what I'm going to do now. So stay tuned for the exciting feeding. Alright, fishy folks, it's feeding time. Yum, yum, yum. First, we will take care of the fry, the angel fry, because they're really cool to look at. We're going to go with the Ocean Nutrition Instant Baby Brine Shrimp, because that's what I have right now. I usually do twice a day this, or twice a day egg, and once a day this, or vice versa, vice. So, here we go. Alright guys, Ocean Nutrition Instant Baby Brine Shrimp. If you want to maybe buy some, I'll put a link in the description below so that you can hit up my Amazon Associates store. Because for every purchase you make, I make like 3 cents or 10 cents or some ridiculously low amount of money. But it all goes to the same place and helps, right? So, Ocean Nutrition Instant Baby Brine Shrimp. It's actually not too bad. If you don't want to hatch live brine shrimp, or you can't, or you don't have the space, or whatever, it's a pretty good alternative. Now, angels are going to eat bloodworms. Bloodworms. So, angels got bloodworms. My black panda guppies got bloodworms, and the bluegrass guppies got bloodworms, and the rams got bloodworms. Now, some people may tell you, you can't feed bloodworms to rams. Well, you can't exclusively feed bloodworms to rams. You shouldn't do that to any fish, but rams, I think, could get bloated from too much protein. But I also, every other day, feed brine shrimp, which is a good laxative. So, all right, I got a little bloodworms left. We'll distribute that evenly. All right, no more bloodworms. Now we finish with some flake food. I'm gonna go with the New Life Spectrum Optimum all-purpose flake. I actually really like this. Again, I'll put a link in the description below if you want to try it. If not, buy it locally. It's fine. It's quite a good food. Everybody breeds with it. And so, here we go. Alright guys, that's it for feeding for now. I'll be back. Well folks, I lied. We have some more feeding to do for the Plecos. These are Sera catfish chips. They have willow and alderwood in them. Sounds delicious. But you know, most Plecos, you know, need wood in their diet. So I feed this to all my Plecos and bottom feeders. Actually, guppies really like it too. It's kind of weird. So I'll be feeding that now. Once again, I'll put a link in the description below if you're interested. It's good stuff. It really makes Plecos and other bottom dwellers, I guess, scavengers, real healthy. It's a good food. So take a look if you're interested. Alright fishy folks, I just left my local fish store. I stopped by to get food. I didn't get any food because I asked him, when I was in the store, I heard that his distributor canceled the shipment today because it was too cold and it was snowing where they came from. It's snowing here. You can see the white on the windows. That's really mostly fog, but it's snowing. It's not sticking on the roads so much, but it's kind of crappy out. So anyway, so I jumped in and said, hey, do you need any fish for the weekend? And he said, what do you got? And we took guppies, but he just got a bunch of guppies on Wednesday, so he's asked to hold off. But he does want some red wag platies and some layer tail mollies. So I'm going to run home, get those in a bucket. Maybe I'll show you that, and then come on back. So I'll be back. All right, fishy folks, we're back. Back in the fish room. I'm gonna get some fish together. I'm gonna show you how I do that for breeding for profit. So hang on, sit tight. So first, we put some water in the tank. In the bucket. My guy likes buckets. If you like bags, I would put it in bags. But I put about, that much depending on the fish. Angelfish get a little more because obviously they're taller, but these are just mollies. We're doing some creamsicle layer-tail mollies for them. You can see in the fish room all the lights are off. It's early afternoon, so there's really nothing going on. I'm gonna leave the lights off so the fish are a little bit more docile, a little bit easier to catch. So the first scoop has 5. I like to do even numbers, 10, 12, we don't want to give him fry because that's just a giveaway for him. We are breeding for profit, so we want to maximize the cost. There's 2 more, so that's 7. I don't know if you caught that one, but it almost jumped on the floor. Alright, 16 creamsicle layer-tail mollies. And now we're going to do the red wags all the way in the back. I'll be back. Alright, fishy folks. We've got some fish to bring to the fish store. That's what we're going to do now, so stay tuned. Alright, fishy folks. We are on our way home from the local fish store. We sold a bunch of fish, made some money, gave him some money back for fish food. But he gives me a break on the fish food too, so it's well worth it for me. He didn't have frozen brine shrimp though, so I have to go back next week to pick it up when his supplier delivers again. But yeah, that's about it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to share it, great. And if you give me a thumbs down, hey, just let me know why, because I'd like to change it if I could. That would be nice. But everyone have a great weekend.